Created an advice from a honeybee, a decor piece using a couple of things from the Dollar Tree, a 5x7 gold frame, as well as a pallet sign. My store doesn't have these anymore, but you could recreate them with a different slats, boards that you can get at different, like the hardware store, a home improvement store, or paint sticks, something like that. Again, my purpose is to encourage you, to inspire you, just to kind of show you what I did for my process. Now, once my collection, my Buzzing with Charm collection 2026 went live, I had a couple of these available and they went very fast. So I know that there is going to be a lot of friends that love these. They do love these type of projects. So if you are interested in recreating something like this, you have my permission to recreate it and actually sell it, that kind of thing. I do have the printable available in my shop over at countrycharmbytracy.com. I just ask that you respect my copyright and do not resell the printable. You can print it out for yourself and you can recreate and you can sell the finished project, like if you want to recreate something like this, or if you have a better idea, I would love to see it. It's just, I like to share and I like to inspire you to kind of think outside the box, take some inspiration that I'm giving you here and recreate something. All right, guys, so I will have this size like this. So when you purchase the printable, it will be ready to go for a 5x7 frame like this. I did add a little bit of, I don't know, this craft colored, I don't know if it's really craft colored, but I had this rolled paper. It's like a mixed media paper. And so I just kind of, I'm trying to use up some of the things that I have in my stash. And so I just ripped that on the back just to give it a little bit of accent behind the actual print. And then I'm going to use the backer of that frame to, attach everything and create my decor piece. So if I am using a product that I don't put on the screen or that you're unsure about, just leave me a comment and I'll be happy to answer it the best that I can. Now this right here is Rub and Buff. I think this is the gold one. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And so I'm just using my finger to spread it around. And I just want to give a little tip. A little bit goes a long way. So when in doubt, less is more. You can always put more on as you go along on your project. All right, so I'm just putting everything together. That black thick stuff right there is called Silly Winks. It's fun foam that you can get at Hobby Lobby. And I love it for dimension. It comes in tons of different colors. They have a thin one. This one right here I'm using is actually the thicker one. And I love using it in my projects for dimension. So like I said at the beginning of the video, this palette board is from Dollar Tree, the plus section when they had those. I don't know, I haven't been able to find them lately, but I wanted to just show you kind of the idea that I had, but you could recreate it with different boards, because if you're watching my video, you are a talented person. You are a creative. And so, again, I am just here to encourage you, to inspire you, just to give you some ideas of what you can do and make and sell. To adhere everything down, I'm using my Tight Bond Thick and Quick glue as well as my Gorilla Hot Glue. I put my clamps on there, let that dry completely, and then we're here the next day, and I'm putting some decorative tacks on the corners. Get those at Hobby Lobby or anywhere you can get decorative tacks. And then to trim it all out, I'm just using my 4-ply jute rope. I get this at Hobby Lobby, and that just adds a kind of a decorative touch to that. Now the fabric bow is just strips of homespun fabric and sisal grass, and I just layer that in my bowdabra and just make loops back and forth and just tie it all off together. Just put a jute rope hanger on there, and this little project is complete. Again, I'm here to encourage you, to inspire you to think outside the box and see what you can do with this. And if you like this print and would like to recreate it yourself, I will have it available at countrycharmbytracy.com. This is my Grungy Primitive Country bee can. Oh my goodness, I love how this turned out. Now, guys, this is a tin can that I used my smooth edge can opener to take off the tops. And every time that I do a project that I have a tin can project, I always get a comment asking about how I get the tops off that are smooth. Or if I'm doing a smash can, how do I get the bottoms off that it's smooth? And so the key is a smooth edge can opener. You can get them at any grocery store or off of Amazon. Just you look for a smooth edge can opener. Now, I have an electric one that makes it super duper easy. The one that I use, I'll put a link for in the description box below because, again, I do get questions about that. Now, if there's something that I'm doing here in this video project that you're not familiar with, just leave me a comment and I'll be happy to answer it the best that I can. So as you can see, I just crumbled up just a lunch bag, and then I'm just going to Mod Podge that on the can, and that's going to be the base of my can. And then we're going to start doing the grungy technique that I like to use for my grungy projects. The star of the show is this printable that is exclusive to Country Charm by Tracy. I'll have information for this printable in the description box below. Now, I printed it off of my inkjet printer, and then just to ensure that it doesn't smear, I'm using that sealer that I showed there on the screen. I got it off of Amazon, and then once I print it, then I just give it, just a quick spray of that, let that dry, and then I am going to attach that to my can. And now I just am using the grungy technique. I'm just have some instant coffee and some Mod Podge, and then I have some plastic gloves, and then just putting that all the way around my can. So I let my cans dry completely, usually overnight. And so here we are the next day. So I'm going to be working on putting the stuff inside. These are rustic taper candles. They're battery operated. I got them off of Amazon. Some of them you can get our timer, and then some of them are like flickering and you have to turn them on and off. But I'll have a link for those in the description box below. The candle holder I picked up at Dollar Tree. All right, so a primitive country project is not complete without pit berries, right? That is right. So I didn't have any yellow and white, so I went to Amazon, found this found this on Amazon, and so I went ahead and I took off all of the individual little picks that are on the strand, and actually there were like 42 little individual bundles, so that is very good. Anyway, so then I just started layering, or actually just putting different things in my can. I added some styrofoam in there. I added some Excelsior, and then just florals that I had on hand. It just kind of went with the theme of the bee themed buzzing with charm projects that I was doing in my shop. And so again, I'm just here to encourage you, to inspire you of what you can recreate, recycle, upcycle, and create for your home, or to make and sell at craft shows. Here is another idea that I did for a grungy primitive country can. Now, this is a larger can, or a taller can rather. This is it's like 6 inches tall, and I think it's like from baked beans or something like that. And I'm using a Amazon bag. I get tons of those, so I'm trying to figure out different ways to use these bags. And so I just ripped it up so it was a little bit easier to use. And so just using some Mod Podge to adhere that to the can. It did take a little bit extra Mod Podge, a little bit extra time, but I finally got all of it down on there. I prefer to use the lunch bags because a little bit more pliable, But again, just trying to use up those Amazon bags. All right, so these beautiful bee prints are from Willow Heart Prims on Etsy. She sent these to me. I've worked with her before. I love using her products. I will have a link for her shop in the description box below. Guys, these are printed on fabric, and so you can just rip these and use them in your designs, just like I'm doing this. You can, there's just so many different ways that you can use these. I'll leave a link for her shop in the description box as well as her Facebook because she gives different ideas with that. All right, so I'm just layering mine on some homespun fabric using my Fabri-Tac glue to adhere all of that together, and then just going to attach that to the front of my can. And then we're going to go ahead and use the grungy coffee technique to, give that nice grungy look for my primitive country can here. I just use Mod Podge and instant coffee as well as plastic gloves because it gets very messy and very sticky. So here we are. It's completely dry. So we're going to go ahead and start putting our stuff in our can. Now, the little candle cup is something that I got from Hobby Lobby, like from the wood pile section. And I needed something to raise it up. So I had this little spool left over from wire. So I'm like, oh my goodness, it fits perfect in that can. So it was a great way to repurpose and upcycle this little spool. Even though you're not going to see it, I had to finish it off with some burlap, and just it fits perfect in that can. All right, so then I'm going to put in, just different embellishments. I added in some styrofoam, some Excelsior. Also, this is my favorite greenery right now. I get that at Hobby Lobby. And so I'm just going to start putting everything in there and making this primitive country bee can look so super cute. Now, I did add some wire to the handle, and I just punched some holes in it using my crocodile. These little faux beads are using carrots, guys, from the Dollar Tree, as well as a bead, some wire. I use some cheesecloth for the wings, as well as some extra little thin wire. So super cute, in a way to upcycle those leftover carrots from the spring season. Now, this is a rustic taper candle. I got it off of Amazon. This is a flickering one. It's not like timer where it doesn't actually go off. So you can get different options on Amazon. I'll have a link for those in the description box below. And then I just made one of my rustic rag bows just using strips of fabric. Just strip that off just using my bowdabra. Added in some Excelsior. Actually, I used some sisal, not Excelsior. I used the sisal grass just to give it that wispy look. Tied it there, adhered it there to the side, and this project is complete, and I absolutely love how it turned out, and I hope you do too. I hope you've gotten some inspiration. This is my welcome to our hive honeybee sign that I created. Guys, I found a few of these layered arch signs from Hobby Lobby. They were kind of clearancing out this style. I don't know if they go up on prices, they go out, they're discontinuing this style. But anyway, I grabbed those because I love wood crafts. And so I'm going to be using this Dixie Belle paint. Also, this gel stain that I got from Amazon. Just to go on the back for the yellow or the mustard part of the honey hive. I just painted that up. Also distressed it with my Kills Dark Wax and all of that good stuff that I like to do. Use my sander and all of that. Now for the welcome to our hive, a little sign that is an extra little piece. Now I get these economy bags from Hobby Lobby in the woodpile section. I guess they just cut them, package them up and that kind of thing. And so I am just going to be painting those. And then I just, do my little border and all that good stuff, then hand lettered with my happy dots. Welcome to our hive. Just kind of add all of my whimsical touches. Then to attach it together, I did glue it, and also to kind of give it a little rustic look, and also to give it an extra, so it adheres together or attaches together. I just drilled some holes in it and then added some like brown rusty looking wire. I also added a fabric bow to the top, just using my bowdabra, and added some wire for it to hang. Now for the little faux bees, those are actually made with carrots. I just painted them up in a bee theme. I added, the little, just a wooden ball for the head, as well as some wire. I'll link to a video that I did a couple of years ago. I did get the inspiration from a friend off of Facebook. I do want to give credit to that. But I had shared how I created mine in a video. I'll link to that video in the description box if you would like to check that out. This is my Buzzin' with Sweet Country Charm block that I created using the honey jar from Essential Stencil. Now, guys, I am a brand ambassador with Essential Stencil. I love using them, and I love sharing some inspiration with other people as well. And I do offer these blocks in my store over at countrycharmbytracy.com, and I'm so appreciative to all of my sweet friends that have become customers and love purchasing these blocks and have them to decorate your home with. So for the block, it is one from the Dollar Tree that I had just painted up and just did the crackle look with the school glue and all of that good stuff. I've showed that in other videos, but I had already had this one done and decided to use it for my little honey jar here. So I am adhering my rub-on transfer to that, just using my transfer tool, and then use the little backer sheet of it just to burnish it, just to kind of set that transfer on there. Now, the difference with a rub-on transfer and an actual sticker is transfers actually kind of melt into your project versus a sticker kind of sits on top, if that kind of, gives you a visual look of it. So that's why I love using these transfers, because it gives me that hand painted look that I like. And then I embellish it or kind of kick it up a notch just by adding my Kills Dark wax. I add some, embellishments with my stickles, which is glitter paint, as well as my black Sharpie marker, just to kind of bring a little bit of the embellishments out, just to give it that rustic look. And so stickles you can get off of Amazon or anywhere kind of like scrapbooking supplies are sold. Just look online. I am using icicle stickles, as well as some yellow, which is kind of like to bring out the honey jar, the effects of the honey jar and that kind of thing. So these little blocks are so cute just to embellish with. I just added some fabric, some greenery, some little daisy flowers, and all of that good stuff. I did add a hand letter tag that said Buzzing with Sweet Country Charm, and I added that to the top of it, and I just absolutely love these blocks. And again, my customers seem to love it as well, and I'm so appreciative for you, and I hope that I've given you some inspiration. These next projects are using some wood blocks, as well as just some different embellishments. I'll kind of either put it on the screen or kind of tell you what I did. If there is a question that I don't answer in the video, just leave me a comment and I'll be happy to answer with what I can. All right, so then for the wood blocks, I got those off of Amazon. I stained them, and then I just glued on some fabric, distressed those. And then for the beautiful artwork, these are rub-on transfers from Essential Stencil. These are the honey bees, and I am an ambassador for Essential Stencil, and I absolutely love using their products products in my projects because they are very high end, they are very easy to work with, and I love to show different ideas of what you can do. Now, I will have my link for Essential Stencil in the description box below, as well as my discount code that you can get 10% off of anything that you order on the website. And so your purchases actually help me, as a small business. And so I do appreciate you shopping through my affiliate link. So I am just here to kind of share what I do with these rub-on transfers as well as what I create. And so for these little blocks, I am, I added some distressing. I also add some glitter, paint just with stickles or glitter glue or glitter paint, that kind of thing. I embellish them with some tiny buttons. Then for the little block that goes with this little set, I'm just using just a block that I got out of an economy pack from the woodpile section at Hobby Lobby, stain that with my Waverly antique wax, just like I like to do, just with a baby wipe. And so then I'm going to go ahead and just be using some craft sticks that I stained as well. And then I just hand letter just with my black marker, where the bees gather, blessings bloom. And so I'm going to be embellishing this little block just with some little mini bees that I got from Amazon, as well as I added a little cup just with some honey dippers in there with some honeybees. I got some yellow hot glue off of Amazon. And so I just did put that in my little glue gun and attach some of the glue to that. And then, it just kind of gives the whole effect to this little set that I have going on here. Now, I had created the little honey hives or bee skeeps, whatever one chooses to call it. I had created those a few years ago. I will find the video and link it for you, or put a link in the description box below if you would like to see how I created those little honey hives just using styrofoam cones and some yarn and some felt.